YouTube Oziko and the Goat House is back. Today I'm going over my AFC quarterback tiers for the upcoming 2023 season. Next we'll do NFC, but I've seen a lot of these debates about people's tiers on Twitter, so I'm here to give you the real tier list. And I don't like basing things off only the past season. To me, that's boring, means nothing. So we're projecting a little bit with this. What are these quarterbacks capable of? Rookie quarterbacks will make an impact this upcoming year, so they will be involved in all my ranking videos projecting the 2023 season. So really excited about this. We have a lot of NFL draft videos on the channel. You know, rankings, grades, winners, losers, all those types of videos. You can check those out. We're starting to do YouTube Shorts and TikToks as well. Links pinned in the comments for anything you're looking for. We have a Twitter. Make sure you follow that. A lot going on there every single day. And our sponsors, Liquid IV, GLD Shop, code GOAT on both those sites. This Chiefs chain is from the GLD Shop. They have more NFL teams, some cool stuff there. So check it all out. Links pinned in the comments. So AFC quarterback tiers, and this is what I think they're capable of this upcoming season, a mixture of kind of what they've shown me in that. So tier one, I have two quarterbacks. I have Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow. And of course, I easily could see some of the quarterbacks that we're going to talk about in tier two sneak up into tier one. For sure, I can see it. But I think these guys, Mahomes is the best in football, right? But I do think, Burrow is the clear cut, in my opinion. I think guys have the arm talent or just the talent in general to compete with them, maybe pass him. But, right now and going into the season, to me, Joe Burrow is the clear-cut number two. I think he's proven that. So I put Mahomes and Burrow in kind of a league of their own here with the AFC tiers, and there's some other really good quarterbacks we're going to talk about. So this is my tier one for AFC quarterbacks here, Patrick Mahomes and the Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow. Tier two, three guys here. We got Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers, Justin Herbert. I think any of these guys at the end of the year, we could be saying they're a tier one guy. Like they could win the MVP. These are MVP candidates. I do think that the tier one guys, they do belong in their own tier. I think they separate themselves. Is it by a wide margin? No, but I think they've proven what they can do, and I know what they're going to be able to do this year to be able to put them in that tier one. So I got Josh Allen, Bills quarterback tier two, Aaron Rodgers, who won an MVP back-to-back years just a couple years ago, and then Justin Herbert. I think most people would probably say Josh Allen is the best of this bunch. And right now, you could debate any of the three, but I can understand the argument. I'd say out of these three, who has the best shot of getting to tier one? For me, it actually might be Justin Herbert, because Justin Herbert, and they all have incredible arm talent, but he might have the most incredible arm talent all of football. He's just got to get a step closer. Maybe just more winning, because winning is a big thing and it's really not his fault when they lose, but it is a big thing when it comes to quarterbacks. We need to see elite winning to be in that, tier one, even though these guys you could consider elite as well. Like tier one, tier two, these are the best of the best. I just really thought, based on what Mahomes and Burrow have done and what I know they're going to do, like the consistency, what they've proven, again, kind of a mixture of everything and what they're capable of this upcoming season, I thought those guys deserve to be in a tier of their own there. So really close here between those. Tier three for me is going to be Trevor Lawrence, Lamar Jackson, Deshaun Watson. And there will be some debates about this one for sure, I suppose. But mainly because I've seen Trevor Lawrence a little too low in other tiers. Kyle Brandt's tiers, I like Kyle Brandt, but his tiers, I think, started the debates on Twitter, and he had Trevor Lawrence a little too low. Lawrence was an elite prospect for a reason. He struggled a little bit his rookie year, and I was preaching it at this time last year that he's going to be a lot better than people think. People are just, recency bias, that it's a thing every year. He's going to be really good, and he took that huge step, and why not? He's going to take another step. I think he has a shot to be in the tier two. He has a shot. He will be an elite quarterback. Everyone will be calling him an elite quarterback at one point. It's not going to be everyone after this year, but I think it's going to be more people saying, yeah, he's about to be elite, or maybe he is elite. Then Lamar Jackson, if we can trust him to stay healthy, then maybe he'd be up a tier. If we had to nitpick, he could be a little better in terms of the passing game consistency, but it should take a step up, better receivers, and then maybe a better passing offense in terms of the play styles, the playbook. But you do factor in his running ability and the game changer that he is. So, he's very close to being in tier 2 as well. I thought those other guys kind of separate themselves there. And then I put Deshaun Watson. He didn't look too great at the end of last year, but he got thrown into the situation, obviously, after sitting out. I shouldn't say really thrown in, but, well, yeah, sort of. After being out of football for some time. But he's a very talented quarterback, and the Browns got a very good offensive line, and they got some weapons now, and then they got that chemistry now. So I think, if he went back to playing like Deshaun Watson, he'd be in tier 2. He'd be in tier 2 for sure. And then maybe, could he push tier 1 then? But so I'm not even saying he's going to be fully back, and I definitely can see it. It's not going to surprise me one bit. I think it would surprise a lot of people out there if he went back to where he was playing. But he's definitely going to be much better. Where I would guess some people might put him a little lower, maybe not everyone, maybe just some people. But I think he's in the conversation with these couple guys here. I think Lawrence is on his way to being elite. I think Lamar Jackson's tough because you could say, this guy's an elite playmaker. He's got to get over that hump. He's got to stay healthy. He's got to pass a little bit more like the guys in tier 1 and tier 2. But I am a huge Lamar Jackson fan. So these guys are in tier 3. Tier 4 is going to be, and I'm going to have some controversy over this one too, just mainly based off the people that base everything off of the previous year, which I just can't stand. In that only, like that last year only, it's just ridiculous. Jimmy Garoppolo, I don't think this one will be debated too much. He's not like a wow quarterback, like not super flashy, but he gets the job done. He's pretty accurate. He's smart. He'll fit McDaniel's system there for the Las Vegas Raiders. So I'm going to put him in tier 4. And then Tua is an interesting one too, because Tua in the beginning portion of last year, for the first half of the year, we'll say, or when he played in the first half of the year, was much better than tier 4. But that would be only based off this portion of the season that he did play in the first half of the season. And then, dealing with injuries, maybe it wasn't 100%. You do factor that in as well. And then I thought it was more so teams started the game plan a little more properly for Mike McDaniel's system, his offense. And so it made it a little tougher on Tua. And teams were just playing the pass because there wasn't a consistent run game. I thought they were effective on just mainly the calling runs actually, or sticking to it when it works. So I thought he kind of came back down to earth a little bit, but he back and forth dealing with injuries. So he's a tough one to tier because if he it's such a small sample size. I think if we base it off of the Tua we saw most of his career when healthy, it's lower than tier 4. It's worse than tier 4. If we base it off of the insane start, it's a portion of the season, the beginning of the year last year. If we just base it off that, which we cannot do fully, that's in my mind like he's somewhat capable of that for how many games though. If we're basing it off of that, he's much better than tier 4. So it is a little tricky here. Still some things to prove, but I believe in him. I don't think they need to replace. I think you could argue they need to replace him based off the injury, the health concerns, but. That's where I'm at with Tua. He's a really tricky one. And this is where I think people will be arguing with me a little bit, or the people that base things off of last year with Mac Jones, the Patriots quarterback. I think they want to put him lower, like a tier 5 or 6 that will go over. Because he played pretty bad last year. He played pretty bad. But, this is where I'm going to rip the recency bias people because backtrack a year ago, I'm doing these videos, similar videos, projecting the upcoming year. I had Lawrence over Mac Jones, and I got destroyed because Mac Jones clearly played better than Lawrence in the previous year, but I'm projecting what they could be. And so I was very right to put Lawrence over Mac Jones. But people were thought he was much better than Lawrence because what he did his rookie year. Now it is the opposite. Now it's everyone forgot about that. And they're like, all right, Mac Jones, he sucks now. He's not good at, football. So people will kind of need to make up their mind and figure their shit out here. If it's the same people, to me, is he going to be as good as his rookie year? He could be. I think Bill O'Brien coming in there, Alabama guy, he can call an offense. He'll get ripped more than he gets praised, but he can call an offense. And he fits well at Mac Jones. Mac Jones fits well with him. I think Mac Jones get back on track. He's going to be better than he was last year, in my opinion. based off his rookie year, maybe, if he played like that again or took a step up last year, we maybe would be talking about him in a, yeah, it's a little bold, but I'm going to put him in tier 4 here. I think it's, again, the people that skim through the video or even listen sometimes and just think it's just based off, it's just so stupid to base off things just 1 year. Like, we're past that on top of it. It's so boring. Like, project a little bit, understand what they could do. So I'm going to put Mac Jones higher than probably what I'm guessing where other people would put him, because I think other people would just base things off what's fresh in their mind, which is kind of wrong. And then tier 5, which I have a rookie in. I don't just, that's another thing I don't like. I see too many people doing tiers, and they just instantly, like right away, first thing they do, put the rookies at the bottom. Like, if you are going to rank, we're essentially ranking. If you are going to rank rookies, then rank them. By just putting them on, maybe you think they're all deserve to be at the bottom, and most of the time they are, because they, there's going to be growing pains, and they haven't played yet. But if you're going to do that, just automatically slap them at the bottom because they haven't played yet, you might as well not include them in your exercise here. I'm projecting this upcoming year. It's what we do here. So Ryan Tannehill is pretty close to being in tier 4, because he's the talent's there. A couple of years ago, he would have been, that year the Titans were really good a few years ago, he probably would have been, definitely better than tier 5. 4th, even 3 possibly, but that was just based off that 1 year, and that's why we don't do things here, because if you base things off 1 year, you're going to be wrong a lot. But, I do think he's declining a little bit, dealing with some injuries, doesn't have the best receiver unit, so I felt a little more comfortable in tier 5. Russell Wilson, I would expect to be better than he was last year. I do think he will be better. Not a ton. I wouldn't expect a ton better. That would be maybe unrealistic, but maybe a decent amount better. But he was really bad last year, like tier 6 last year. So I bump him up a tier because the coach is better, really. But he's declining, and where he was last year was really, really bad. And Kenny Pickett, who actually impressed me. He didn't play every game last year, but he's a little better than expected, for a guy that wasn't the biggest time prospect and he got thrown into a situation. He was pretty, again, he wasn't lighting it up. He wasn't, airing it out a whole lot. He took the check downs a bit. Sometimes is the right choice, so I'm not ripping him for that. But my point is he's not the flashiest quarterback, but he was pretty clutch at the end. Smart quarterback, somewhat accurate for a rookie that wasn't the biggest rookie. So he impressed me, but still, like, how much, and he's going to get better, but how much talent is really in there? What is his ceiling? I feel comfortable putting him with these guys, but you can debate him in tier 4. And CJ Stroud, who was my number 1 quarterback in the draft, going to the Houston Texans, I think he's going to have a good rookie year. Of course, with any rookie quarterback, there's a little bit of, the transition, I guess some growing pains, I suppose, but he's a very accurate quarterback. He can air the ball out. He's got those flashy moments. I think he will in the NFL. He doesn't have the best receiver unit. They might be a little underrated, but they got a good running game. They'll run the ball to open up the pass. The job will be simple for him. He's going to hit his throws. So I think he can do a solid job. And I know there's that crowd where how could you have a rookie in maybe not the bottom tier or with guys that have played a long time? Well, for comparison, Russell Wilson was very bad last year, but for Kenny Pickett, still, he's not a rookie technically, but he didn't play a full season last year. It's like, they're not too, they're pretty much in the same boat, and Stroud has a lot more upside and just more talented. So, I was actually it was more likely in me putting, if I were to rank, predicting this upcoming year, Stroud ahead of a second year guy like that, and just look at the difference. They're still both essentially prospects. So, that's my tier 5. And then tier 6 will have some rookies and some guys that will potentially start. And that's what I did with this video. I put guys that could start, and there was really 2 teams that had the question. It is the Colts, which you see both their quarterbacks here, and the Titans, which we saw Tannehill already, and then Will Levis here is the other guy. But I'm going to bank on the Colts starting Richardson, but he was he's a raw prospect, has a ton of upside. He's got to work on his footwork a little bit, got to calm down a little bit. So he did seem like a guy that would have to sit for a year, but with the Colts situation where he's a really good fit, and he's probably, Is he going to turn the ball over more than Minshew? Probably, but he's probably overall just better than Minshew, even though right away. So I will say they'll probably start Richardson, but there is some sort of chance they start Minshew, so that's why I ranked them. And then Will Levis, some people think they'll start him, but as long as if Tannehill's on the roster, he's starting. So right now he's on the roster. We'll see. But Richardson, Levis, upside guys, I believe in them. Richardson, a boomer or bust. Say both of them. Both of them are boomer or bust because I believe in them. I'm optimistic with them. I just think these are raw prospects, and I didn't just slap them down here because they're rookies. I don't really do that. See C.J. Stroud, who I think is definitely more pro-ready, a lot more accurate than these guys. I think a lot smarter of a thrower than these guys, smarter in the pocket as well. Just being more pro-ready. These guys, they were interesting prospects. They're upside prospects, but it is not a shocker at all. It's almost expected, and it's okay if they struggle a little bit this year if they play. So, and then Minshew, he's got his moments. But I thought he belonged here in the bottom tier. So that is my quarterback tiers rankings. And again, it's kind of a mixture of what they've proven to me, how consistent they are, where I'm comfortable with them, where I project them this upcoming year. And there's a lot of projecting this upcoming year with these. And we'll do the NFC ones as well, but these are my AFC quarterback tiers. And this is going to be a little recap, and this is something for the YouTube short/TikTok. So my AFC quarterback tiers for the upcoming 2023 season. In tier 1, we have Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow. I think those guys separate themselves. In tier 2, we have Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers, and Justin Herbert, which all three have the talent to maybe push themselves up into tier 1 during the season. Tier 3, Trevor Lawrence. I think even another step up this year from last year, which would be impressive. Lamar Jackson, who would be fun to watch him in that new style offense there. And Deshaun Watson, which will be much better than what we saw him at the end of last year. Tier 4, we got Tua, Jimmy Garoppolo, and Mac Jones. I'm thinking Mac Jones can be better than what he was last year. Think about his rookie year with this. Tier 5, Ryan Tannehill, Russell Wilson, Kenny Pickett, and the rookie C.J. Stroud, I think is a pro-ready guy, so he shouldn't have too many rookie growing pains. Then tier 6, couple rookies, Anthony Richardson, Will Levis. Upside guys could struggle early, and we have Gardner Minshew. A bunch of guys that potentially could start this year, and a lot of them we know will start. So that is my AFC quarterback tiers. We'll do the NFC quarterback tiers as well. And we have all kinds of draft content on the channel for you guys to check out. Grades, rankings, and more. Undrafted free agency. So, yeah, check it all out. Like, subscribe to notifications on. Any links you're looking for, Twitter, sponsors, pin in the comments. Going to do it. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.